Hello and welcome to the Raptors Show, powered by DoorDash on Sportsnet 590 The Fan. I'm your host, Will Lou. A reminder, we're streaming live on Sportsnet's YouTube channel and airing live on Sportsnet 360 Monday to Friday between 1 and 3 p.m. Joined by producer and co-host Alex Wong. Alex, what's going on?
What's up? What's up? Happy hump day.
Yep.
Raptors are playing a playoff game at Scotiabank Arena for the first time since 2019. NBA Finals. Game 5 when there was a chance to win it all. But, you know, they're down 2-0. So, you know what it is, man. Win, lose, or draw, they got to lay it all on the floor tonight. You know,
There's no draws in basketball.
They got to win every 50-50 ball. You know, the ball is in Toronto's court. It's time for them to answer the bell. They've got to give 110%. Sometimes it's just about who wants it more, you know. It's not about the X's and O's. Some nights it's about the Billy and the Joes.
Yeah.
So.
And Joe's been killing us.
yeah. And,
so it is about Joe.
And Billy Maxey, apparently. We're going to start calling him Billy, man. Oh, man. But, yeah, you know, vibes are good. Vibes are good, I think.
Got a programming note?
Programming note, yes. Thanks for directing me. So for everybody tuning in or listening, tomorrow we will be on air live at 10 in the morning. So 10 a.m. to noon will be our show. Tomorrow, please don't let it be a Raptors down 3-0 show at 10 in the morning. But no, it's because the Blue Jays are playing. And, you know, we got to work around the Blue Jays schedule.
Of course.
Shouts to Rogers Media. So, yeah, that's the programming note. That's it. Morning shoot around today. Scotty Barnes, you know, he's no longer in his walking boot.
Hey, that's great. We're going to get to that in a second.
Okay.
My own programming note. Let's listen back to yesterday's episode of the Raptors Show.
Yeah, your favorite podcast.
My favorite podcast, number one, rated 5 stars.
Yep.
Left a review, said I sound good. Alex, not so much.
Oh, come on.
But I was listening back to it, and I turned it off after 10 minutes. It's too negative. What's going on?
Was it negative yesterday?
Yeah, it's like, listen, it was just...
I try my best.
I know, but listen, I know you're down 2-0, but it's not the worst thing.
It's not the worst.
It's genuinely not the worst thing. You can come back from this. Obviously, you got to... The worst part about it is the injuries, as we mentioned. The worst part about it is that the games haven't been competitive.
Doesn't
matter.
The
Raptors have it in them to do so.
I don't care about the X's and O's. I don't care about the MB, non-MB minutes.
I know you don't care about X's and O's because you literally got up and left when it was the Blake Murphy Tuesday segment when we were like, let's draw the whole defense.
Sometimes you just got to go out there and just win a game, man. Like forget about all this talk, putting out 4 fires, all of this stuff. No, it's gut check time.
Yeah.
It's gut check time. Baby.
I agree.
So
I'm just, listen. Yesterday's show was too negative. The vibes are way better today. I came into the office early, sat down, you know.
Yeah. Leaned real back on your chair. This is your go-to move.
Yeah.
Are those chairs that ergonomic, by the way? I always worry that it's just going to collapse. Under the weight of the center of gravity, which is your head.
Yeah, no, it's been able to hold my head up, which is
okay.
all I really need. But no, seriously, I bike to work.
Yes.
Mostly because I saw some very disturbing news about the subway, and I was like, I might just bike from Lansdowne to Sherburne.
For personal safety. For personal safety.
I'll bike there.
You made yourself here.
I got here. You came in about 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, with a Filet-O-Fish.
You had a Filet-O-Fish and orange juice.
Yeah, I forgot to post it to Instagram, by the way. Yeah. Keep talking while I do that.
That's not what I expected to see from you. Then you took a photo of this Filet-O-Fish.
Yeah.
The burger was out of place. But anyway, listen, what I'm trying to say is it's back to, for me at least, I know there's like a big game tonight. There's a lot of, everything's on the line, really. You lose game 3, you might as well call it a day.
No team has ever come back from 3-0. Yeah. Well, I don't know if you looked that up, but
if the Raptors win one game, then what's Doc Rivers' record in 3-1 games?
Right. It's still Glenn.
It's still Glenn. You're right.
For now. But listen, down 2-0, we've seen a lot of series swing, really. Like all cliches aside.
Yeah.
With one game. And, you know, just dream with me for a second.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Here, okay? So the Raptors tonight, Scotiabank Arena crowd. What kind of crowd are you expecting tonight?
I have a whole rant about this. I'm expecting a good crowd, but we'll touch on it a little bit later on. But just continue with your dream. This is about your dream, not mine.
Yeah, so Strizzy's out there introducing the starting lineup. And
get your hands clapping.
Yep, get your hands clapping. Gary Trent Jr. is in there. Pascal's in there. Your all-star point guard, Fred VanVleet.
But it's Strizzy's job is safe, by the way. That was not a very good starting lineup introduction from you, man.
But
I'm not hyped for this game at all. But keep on.
No. Yeah. Sorry. But you know, Fred is usually the person that's announced last, but it's not. It's Scotty Barnes. Scotty Barnes, introduced last as a game time decision, comes out.
Okay.
And, you know, the Raptors just feed off that energy. They're up 15 at the half. Joel Embiid's got 3 fouls. And
hey, listen, I
Yep.
would love to see if, he got into foul trouble for once. It'd
Yeah,
be nice.
yeah.
It'd be nice. Okay, keep going.
yeah.
Yeah.
And in the third quarter, Chris Boucher hits 4 threes. And it's a 23-point lead heading into the fourth.
Yeah.
And, we get Svi, we get Utah. It's just a celebration. So now we're
Oh,
back in the series.
We got Svi and Utah? Okay,
Yeah,
wow.
so
okay,
now
all
we're
right.
back in the series.
Mm.
Back in the series, okay? Game 4, because Gary's playing tonight, but Nick said he's still not feeling that well, right?
Mm.
So game 4 on Saturday, 2 p.m. Gary's finally feeling great. We finally get the full starting 5.
Yep.
Healthy.
Yep.
Okay, relatively. And Gary goes for 43 points. He
Oh.
hits a buzzer beater at halftime. He jumps on the scores table.
At halftime?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right,
He
wow.
jumps on the scores
Didn't
table.
realize we had Patrick Beverley.
Put the Raptors up by 7 at half. It's a tight game. Okay.
He's jumping on the scores table for a halftime
Yeah,
shot.
yeah. No, because that's how
Up
hyped the
7.
crowd is. Because that's
Okay.
how hyped the
Okay,
crowd
all right,
is. Like
all
he
right.
can't control himself.
Keep going. Yeah,
You
go
know,
ahead.
and at the end of the game, Joel Embiid's got the ball. The Raptors are up 1.
Mhm.
Fred VanVleet comes in and just rips the ball away from him.
Mm.
That's the game. And then, the whole time that
Okay.
Gary is going off, Glenn is looking over to his bench. He's like, I need Matisse Thybulle, but he's not there.
Mm.
Matisse Thybulle is not there. There's nobody to stop him.
He's at home drinking herbal medicine again.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully Gary went to Chinatown as well and just treated himself.
Listen, if Gary had Balangan at any point, he would have been fine for game 2.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the difference between 2-0 and 1-1 right now. So it's 2-2, okay?
Mhm.
It's 2-2. Now, I'm not going to get too crazy
Man,
with
you've
my
been
dreams.
sleeping for a long time. This
Yeah.
is a long sleep, man.
Not trying to get too
this
crazy.
guy slept through 2 whole games. Okay, keep going.
Not trying to get too wild with my dreams, okay?
Yeah.
The Raptors lose in game 5. Okay, the Sixers bounce back at home. But then we get back to game 6. It's a really good crowd, and finally it's Fred, Pascal, and OG leading the team to a victory.
Okay. yeah,
Okay?
that
And
sounds
now it's 3-3. And now we head into Philadelphia for game 7.
good. Do you have an alarm clock?
And suddenly, the Tim Bontemps and the Zach Lowe's are no longer talking about how, the Sixers are rounding into championship form.
Oh,
Suddenly the narrative has
are people
changed
saying
again.
that?
I heard a couple podcasts yesterday.
Okay.
So, and then it's game 7 and all the pressure suddenly is on James Harden. What's going on with James Harden? He's shooting 31% in the series,
Mm.
right? Like what's
Mm.
going on with Tyrese Maxey? He's only averaging 17 points a game, since game 2. And then give me the final play. Give me the Scotty Barnes hook shot at the end, man.
Yeah,
give
it's
me
like-
anything you want.
4.3 seconds left.
Yeah.
Tie game 90-90.
Yeah.
Sixers had just tied the game with a transition layup. And the Raptors come out of the timeout.
Yep. And on the broadcast, they are showing Kawhi's shot. They're showing Vince Carter's shot
no,
because every series has gone down to the last shot.
Not just on the broadcast. You know how Nick has the iPad on the sideline?
Right.
He's showing the Kawhi shot on the iPad. He's not
Yes.
even drawing up the play. He's like, listen, that's what we're going to do. Inbound the ball to Scotty. He's going to dribble into the corner.
Yep.
And he's going to hit a fadeaway, and he's going to bounce in.
That's right. Who's the Jordan Lloyd in this scenario?
Me.
This guy's made his way down from the radio booth.
Me.
They're like, when did we sign Jeremy Lin? Was that the rules?
Yeah.
No, we
Utah.
can't make those
Probably
jokes.
Utah, let's be
Asian Heritage Month coming soon. So
Okay.
yeah, and there it is.
It's a great dream, man.
Yeah, but it's it's got to start tonight.
It's got to start
It's
tonight,
gotta
yeah.
start tonight.
No, listen, I like it. I like the positivity. Look, I mean, you're back at home. You should have more bodies available. By the way, so I was under the impression that every single time the series goes from one city to another, you have 2 days off. Like you have a
Right.
travel day, and then you have a practice day, and then you play, and you have game day.
Yeah.
Like that's the usual standard. Why are we playing already on Wednesday?
Yeah, I was under that impression too when Nick Nurse was playing all his starters in the fourth quarter the other night. I was like, oh yeah, it's all good. We got 2 nights off.
Yeah, no. They're literally getting on a
Um,
flight that night, came back, and were able to sleep in their own beds.
Yep, they were
Another
able to sleep in their
Raptor
own beds.
cliche.
Yep, have
Yeah.
homemade breakfast today.
Well.
The pregame meal that they want, and it's gut check time.
Yeah.
You just got to get one.
All right, so you got good news from morning shoot around.
Yeah, morning shoot around. Scotty Barnes was spotted without his walking boot, and per Josh Lewenberg of the other network, seemed to be moving okay on his sprained left ankle. And when Nick Nurse was asked whether Scotty could play tonight, Scotty is officially listed as doubtful. Nick Nurse said maybe. Is this mind games, or do you think there should be optimism about Scotty being in the lineup tonight?
Well, not to sound like Nick Nurse when he always does. Well, but I mean, he was like spotted at shoot around without the walking boot,
Which is a
like
hugely
running around doing stuff.
encouraging sign.
Yeah.
The fact that the walking boot is off.
Like I don't think it's like the Raptors are like. I think they're testing him out. Again, it's the playoffs, so like everyone's gonna try to play if they can play. We just saw that with Thad Young and Gary Trent, right? So they'll probably try it. And we'll see. I think Scotty coming back will be huge because you can – I mean, let's be real. Scotty does so many things for this team. He wears so many hats, you know.
Yeah, he's like me. Yeah, he wears more hats.
He is like you,
than
actually.
me. But yes.
What's up with this little beanie thing?
I don't know. I've been wearing a lot of
– This guy looking like
I've been wearing a lot of
Zelda.
green. I've been wearing a lot of green this week. Not sure why.
Okay.
It's a lucky color, I think. Yeah, it's the color of money.
But
favorite thing.
Okay, all right, man.
Yep, sorry.
But in this situation, if Scotty is able to go and he's young and, you know, like, if he gives you anything, I think I'd be really, really happy. I think it'll be really helpful. You have your secondary ball handler on the floor now again, so you don't have to go reaching deep into the bench for Malachi, who, you know, was pesky on defense.
Yep, Matthew Dellavedova.
21 minutes, 0 points. Like, it just wasn't enough,
yep,
right?
Matthew Dellavedova.
You have more size in your starting five. You have your primary defender on James Harden back. You can switch a little bit more. I don't have to say all the things Scotty does. He just does a lot of things, right? So that'll be huge. I think it'll be a nice emotional boost for the team too, because even just for the fan base, that was the worst part about the 2 games Philadelphia was seeing Scotty down in pain like that, right? So if he's able to come back, it'll give a huge emotional boost. And listen, you need all hands on deck. Like, this is like need to get
all hands on deck. I love it.
No, this is
Drop these cliches on them.
This is it. Right?
This is it right here. This is the season right here. It's the season right here. It's time to push all the house money into the middle of the table. Even though, you know, the Raptors might just be holding like a pair of like pocket sixes right now.
Exactly. This is what happened, right? So you've lost like 2 bad hands in a row.
Yeah.
Right.
You've just been crushed.
You're pretty short stacked.
Yeah.
Right. The other team's beating you like, you know, 3-1 in chips.
Yep.
You got like, I don't know, 10 jacks suited in your hand.
Yep.
You see like, I don't know, a queen and a 9 on the flop.
Yep.
Just pushing all in. That's what the Raptors are doing right now in this game.
Yep.
Are you going to maybe get that straight? I don't know. It's still unlikely, but if you do hit it, then you're good.
Yeah. I think most likely is Scotty will return if he does for game 4. I think tonight might be too much of an
What do they take the boot off and have him shooting around?
I don't know. You still need to progress a little bit, right? Like you can't just
I don't know,
the
man.
boot off and just come into the game. and you talk about the 2 days off. They do have 2 days off after tonight's game. So not that Nick Nurse ever looks at that when he plays his starters 43 minutes, by the way.
If Scotty plays 43 minutes, don't be surprised.
I love when people like, whether it's fans or us or the broadcast being like, well, yeah, Nick Nurse is rolling with his starters because they've got 2 nights off. It's like, nah, man, even if they had a game tomorrow, Nick Nurse is like, we're down 11 with 5:55 left in the 4th quarter. And, you know, we're rolling with our guys. I don't blame Nick, though. We've talked about this. What are the options, you know?
No, the options are not, like, there's not the depth in the roster. And listen, I think the other team will do the same thing, too. Like, it's not like Philly has that much depth. Like, if Philly were to miss, like, one of their top 4 guys, the other 3 guys are probably just playing huge minutes. I mean, it just is what it is. Like, this is just how the game is played. There's a lot of cliches on the show.
No, there's a lot of cliches. We've got Harrison Sanford joining us at 1:30 p.m., and then Amy Audbert's going to drop by in studio at 2. And then the 2 of us, we were featured in a Toronto Star article about favorite food options at Scotiabank Arena by friend of the program, Evie Kwan. So we'll go through a little bit of that in the final segment. And I think you wanted to give fans a guide to being a Raptors fan at a playoff game. Is that correct?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a loose idea. Usually, you know, I come into the office, you have done 90% of the rundown.
Yeah.
You have put all the topics, all the research, all the quotes. You've gone all the clips to our producer.
And then you just delete them. Yeah.
And then
you delete them.
I come in and I'm like, here's this other idea.
Yeah. And your one idea always hits.
Yeah, it's always
a fan favorite. It's always a Sportsnet favorite. I always have producers emailing me being like, oh, great segment.
Listen.
Comparing Raptors players to poker hands. And I'm like, I spent my whole 20s playing poker and I can't even get credit for this. I risked my whole life to be in this position. I am listed as producer on the show, and we'll lose the one killing all the segments. Anyways,
so we have a segment obviously for the 4th segment, I guess.
Yes.
But one of your ideas, you have a wish list. So you've now shared your elaborate dream, which spans like 10 hours of gameplay.
Yes.
How many free throws for Embiid did you have in those dreams?
0. Yeah.
0?
Zero.
Yeah. Okay.
Nick Nurse has devised a scheme where Joel Embiid will be shooting 0 free
No,
throws.
Nick Nurse
So I
is-
guess he's just dunking 40 times tonight.
Nick Nurse has devised the scheme.
By the way,
where
we gotta
Nate
stop.
Bjorkgren is the crew chief official.
We gotta stop. Listen, I get the officiating is a storyline, but we've got to stop rolling out the grand Canadian conspiracy of the NBA every time there's a foul call. Like Joel Embiid is one of the most foul players in the league. This is just his style of play. Like you can have gripes with individual calls. I just think we can't be getting mad every single time the whistle blows. Having said that, there's going to be a ref you suck chant 2 minutes in tonight.
And I expect it to be great, but we'll say that for the last segment.
Okay. Sorry.
So, yeah, in your dream, 0 free throws for Joel Embiid. And listen, if he shot 0 free throws for the rest of the series, I think the Raptors have a chance.
Yeah, no.
But,
I like my chances. So we have a wish list for tonight, just things we want to see. So, Will Lou, let's start with you. What is number 1 on your Game 3 wish list?
Honestly, my number 1 on my own wish list would have been that we got Ray J's one wish. Just like loaded up for this. Salute to my childhood. Anyway, my number 1 wish is stop helping off of Tyrese Maxey.
Okay.
Just don't. Like, I honestly,
Okay.
I wouldn't feel comfortable with him scoring more than 15 points tonight, man. Like, I'm so sick of seeing him score like 25 points on 8 of 11 shooting or 38 points and he's at the end of the game hunting for 40. Like, I'm sick of this.
Yep.
Make him actually beat you. Stop helping off of him. Leave him open for 3. Leave him open for transition. Stop allowing him to attack you on the closeouts because he's so fast. Stay with the guy. Don't help him. Whoever's on Tyrese Maxey, like, I'm not saying, like, you know, if he sets the screen for Joel Embiid and Joel Embiid's rolling down the lane, you don't slide over. Of course, you got to use it, like, some sense with this too. But stay home when Tyrese Maxey, please, because he's going to burn you. I don't think it's like a fluke that he shot this high of a percentage. Maybe the three-point shooting is a little bit high, but obviously he's a very capable three-point shooter over a short sample. I'm sure he can do it. But just stop leaving him. Please, especially if it's, James Harden's driving down the lane and, you know, an OG's in front of him and has good position. I'm just going to slide over and try to, no, stay at home.
Your man's got, whoever's on Tyrese Maxey.
Yeah.
That is your assignment.
It's like pandemic rules.
Okay.
Like 2020 pandemic rules.
Stay at home. Yeah, stay at home rules.
Yeah.
Okay.
The stay-at-home order on Tyrese Maxey's defender.
Okay.
That's what I'm issuing.
And I was told that the Raptors have a lot of great 6'9" individual defenders. So I don't think this should be that difficult of an ask, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, that's your number 1. My number 1 is I want the playoff T-shirts to be great.
They're already out, by the way.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. So it's black and gold. It says 2022 playoffs, got the Raptors and the OVO logo on it.
It's not bad.
Shouts to the Raptor mascot, Tristan Forbes, official team, photographer, Nelson. I'll be hitting you guys all up tonight.
This guy calling them out. No, you're Nick Nurse calling out the officials pre-game.
Size
right
XL. Yeah, do you have the guts to get me a playoff T-shirt, Nelson? Do you? Let me know.
How many free T-shirts from Scotiabank Arena do you have at home? Like,
I don't know. I give them all to my dad. It's charity. Yeah,
so
my dad gets so excited when he gets a shirt.
How many playoff T-shirts does your dad have at home?
I don't know. He rotates through them. Yeah.
How long does it take? Like,
he has a lot of shirts from like the 2019 finals when they were handing out shirts. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
I'm out just doing this for myself.
Okay. Wish list number 2.
Yes.
All right. Yeah. I think they should change the way they attack the offensive rebounds. Yeah. And what I mean by this is this. Okay, so the Sixers are torching the Raptors in transition right now, right? They're playing really fast, they're getting the rebound, and they're just going, right? And I think they have like twice as many transition points. You have to stop that. You just have to.
Are they crashing the boards too hard right now?
I think partially, yes. But I think what I want is to see is this. When Joel Embiid is contesting a shot against probably Pascal Siakam, let's be real, right? If Joel Embiid's contesting the shot and he's not in the paint, crash the glass. Makes total sense, right? If you have driven the ball deep into the paint and you're shooting a layup, crash the glass. That's fine. The rebound's going to be there. You have multiple guys there. You have a chance to get it. What I don't want to see is Pascal's dribbling at the top against Tobias Harris. He's unable to get inside. He shoots the jumper, and then like 2 guys run to the glass with Embiid fully in the paint. You're not going to win that rebound a lot of the time, and you're really not going to be able to get back in transition.
Right. So they have to be selective and smart about crashing the boards and being aware of getting
So when Embiid gets pulled out and because he's contesting a shot, crash the glass. If you drive to the basket and you're shooting a layup, contest the glass. Everyone else, get back. Other situations, get back. I know it's like the Raptors win all the rebounding battles. You're going to lose the transition battle. in this situation. So you had to be more selective with the glass. All right, what's your next wish?
Okay, I like that. I want one surprise performance tonight from one of the Raptors. I think, all respects to Tyrese Maxey and Tobias Harris, but those have been like otherworldly performances from them. I've heard people say that those are the two best games that Tobias has played in a high pressure environment for the Sixers. I need one of those from the Raptors tonight. And two guys that I'll point to. I hope Gary's feeling better. I think Gary is the most likely candidate. The Raptors have just gotten nothing from him in this series, and obviously we can attribute a lot of that to his physical health. I think either Gary or Precious have to have a really good game tonight. And then the other cliche is that role players play better at home. So let's get one of these role players either coming off the bench or in the starting lineup to have a breakout performance, because you're gonna need that. You're gonna need that. I know Fred Pascal and OG are gonna show up. I know they're gonna show up. I know they're gonna contribute. We need somebody else to step up, especially if Scotty's not playing tonight.
Yeah, I agree. Which number 3? Let me see Scotty on the floor. I had something else written here. I'm going to save it for later, but no, let me see Scotty in the game. I think it'll be, like I said earlier, a huge emotional boost. I think he plays a lot of roles for this team, and quite frankly, he looked awesome in game 1. I just straight up want to see him more. Like, even if the Raptors lose and all of this, and all you come out of the playoffs is playoff experience, he's the one guy I want playoff experience for. So let me see Scotty Barnes out there. Simple.
Okay, I like that. My next one is I want to see an all-NBA performance from Pascal tonight. I know yesterday you were talking to Blake, and you guys were evaluating Pascal's performance so far in this series, and I think you guys landed on him. He's played like at an all-star level, but not at a level where you feel like, oh, this is the all-NBA player that we've seen.
He was a Chris Middleton all-star, not a Giannis.
Okay, no, I think that's completely fair. We've seen this. We've seen this against the Sixers just 2 weeks ago. When he was the best player on the floor. Now, I know circumstances are different, et cetera, but no, like, if you're going to win 1 game, 2 games, 3 games, 4 games in this series, you need your most skilled offensive player to come through and deliver one of these performances.
I agree.
So I'm expecting that from Pascal. And I think sometimes the way we talk about Pascal, I think we've both been really fair, talk about Pascal even during like the tough times. But at some point too, you got to look at that player and say that, hey, like, you got to step up tonight. Like, you got to step up. Your team's down 2-0. They're looking to somebody. Fred's not at full health. The rest of the roster is not at full health. So he's got to lead the way tonight.
Yeah, no, I like that. That's why my 4th wish was Pascal takes 25 shots. I think Nick actually said that pregame too. The issue is you can't hear the reporters when you're not in the actual room physically itself. You can't hear what the questions are. But I'm pretty sure the question was sort of asked of him, like, what he's expecting from Pascal, and he's like, what do you have, like 17, 18 shots last night? Like, I need 25. That should be at 25. So I want 25 shots from Pascal.
Okay, I like that. My next one, I want Drake showing up tonight with special guest Marc Gasol.
I like that. Yeah.
Or maybe, I'll settle for just a video of Marc Gasol. Just saying, hey, Joel. Hey, Joel.
Oh, man. Yeah, actually,
Joel,
I like that. I like that. Yeah. No. Have him like the drinking the rosé at the parade and everything like that.
Yeah.
Let's show that video like at every timeout.
We're desperate. Yeah, like, all hands on deck.
Like, forget like showing me, hey, Scotty Barnes' favorite food is baked beans.
Right.
Forget like, hey, who
which
am I?
we still need to talk about.
Forget like, oh, which player is this? And they move the things around or like spot the difference.
Here's Utah Watanabe if he sounded like the TTC.
Yeah, like I actually don't mind that one. But like, no, for every commercial break, just show me Marc Gasol. And like defensive clips, like, and maybe just show that to the team as well.
Yeah, you remember during the 2019 playoff run? Well, yes, you do, because this was a Kyle Lowry 0-point game. You remember who showed up? JV. JV showed up. And
but
watched
he was
that
like
game.
he showed up like by surprise.
Yes, but this is like, imagine the ovation if Drake walks in 6 minutes left in the first quarter tonight and Mark is with him. Can you imagine?
No, that'd be sick.
Glenn would have to call a timeout.
We still have time. How long does it take for the flight to get me?
I don't know, man. Mark, make it happen. All I'm saying is, the Sixers had some star power the first couple games. They have this thing where they ring the Liberty Bell before the game. They had Meek Mill game 1, Don Staley game 2. Like, we need some star power. I know Drake is pure star power, but, we need something more tonight. All right, what's next for you?
Last one, 6 Fred threes. I want to hear Yabba Dabba Doo 6 times.
Oh, so I'm going to hear it 12 times. 6 from Herbie Kuhn and 6 from Will Liu.
Okay, Herbie doesn't say it himself. They play a drop.
Oh, yeah,
like,
right.
What are you talking about?
Shouts to Herbie.
Like, you might hear it because the mic is hot, but like, no, listen, I want to be in there singing Yabba Dabba Doo.
Okay.
Because I need 6 threes from Fred.
Yep.
Yep. All right,
No,
last one.
I want to see and hear some things in the radio booth
Oh, you will. Don't
tonight.
worry. Yeah, you will.
If I'm in the radio booth. Last one for me. I just want the Raptors to get a win for all the diehard fans out there in Jurassic Park.
Yeah,
like
seriously.
they had to camp out in a random snowstorm in game
I was
2.
the most random snowstorm.
Yeah.
April 18th in Toronto.
Yep.
It was like rain and then sleet. So it's like everyone's soaked. It's like the worst kind,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
And yeah, and then they watched like 18 free throws. Imagine how cold you are. You're like, yo, let's just get the game over with. Let's get the game over with.
Yeah.
And then they're shooting free throws. It must really hurt. So.
And the other thing for me is like
Give those people like tickets, man.
give
for
those
real.
people season tickets. Give those people a Goran Dragic jersey. Give them my media voucher, my media food voucher. No, like they make so much content off the Jurassic Park crowd, like the television broadcast,
yep.
like on social and everything.
The players always talk about it.
Yeah, and like yes, there is a part of it I'll acknowledge is like a lot of these fans, you know, especially for home games, can't be in there because they're probably priced out, right? Like the tickets are really expensive.
Yeah, like
And
you're
it's-
younger.
Yeah, sometimes this is not like, you know, the option of going into the arena is just not there for them.
Mhm.
So, you know, these are like real diehards. Like you got to be a pretty diehard to stand in Jurassic Park is what I'm trying to say. Like
Yeah.
I know casual fans will be like, "Oh, Jurassic Park's a neat thing. Let's go check it out." But like if you're there all the time, like you're a diehard
There's
Raptors
probably
fan.
someone there right now watching us on YouTube, waiting in line for Jurassic Park.
Yo, if you are, hit me up, man.
Nothing-
I'll
nothing
send you a
people like more in
JPEG
Toronto than
of
lining up
Will
for
Lou.
things.
Yeah, so
It's not, again, that's
No, but-
not a positive.
but think about all the Jurassic. If you've been a longtime Jurassic Park fan during this whole decade, like you've been out there for some great times, but also some terrible times.
No, for
Like
real.
some
Like,
terrible
game
times.
2, I thought was terrible. Not only because
Yeah.
of the weather, but the game was trash. And I already told you about, remember game 1s? We were talking about game 1s and bad game 1s or whatever.
Yeah.
I was there at Jurassic Park for game 1 when the Raptors only scored 83 points. And as I said earlier, Kyle had 4 points total
Yeah,
the whole game. He
So
played like
that's like-
38 minutes, you know.
that's like his third best game one. Then you're saying?
No, man, come on, relax. We're going to take a break. I'm your host, Will Lou. That's Alex Wong. You're listening to The Raptors Show, powered by DoorDash on Sportsnet 590, The Fan. Welcome back to the Raptors Show, powered by DoorDash on Sportsnet 590 The Fan. I'm your host, Wolu. I continue to be joined by producer and co-host Alex Wong, and we are joined by a friend of the program, Harrison Sanford, inside the green room. Harrison, bro, the vibes in Toronto are not the same as the last time we talked. What's going on?
Yes, yeah, maybe Marcus Sol can bring them.
No, we need you to bring the vibes, man. We need to switch the Toronto side. And I know you're at Eaton Center right now, Harrison. Don't lie to me.
I wish I was on the 6th side for sure. Unfortunately, the way I had planned my travel, I was planning on coming for Game 6. So I don't know if that's as likely.
No.
Harrison, what are you saying, man?
Yo,
man.
book that bottle service on King Street.
No, come
for
on,
next,
man.
Next Wednesday, Thursday.
That's
okay,
rude. That's rude,
Harrison.
That's rude of you to say that, Harrison.
You'll be here. You'll be here. Send me the invite. Send me the guest list, and
I was trying to come for all the pivotal games,
Oh man, what is this? What is this? The roast of the Raptors show? Listen, Harrison, I already wanted to unsubscribe to Inside the Green Room after Danny Green dunked in Game 2, and now you're coming on this show and doing this to us.
Harrison, when's the last time you saw your boy Danny dunk?
He actually dunked earlier this season. It was really weak, so nobody noticed it, and it was kind of funny.
I love how honest you are, bro.
Yeah, it was a weak dunk for sure. Everybody said this is the first time I've seen Danny dunk in the 76ers jersey, and I'm like, no, he had a couple of dunks last year too. He had a dunk in that Wizards series right off the tip-off, if I remember correctly. But the way Danny runs, it's not going to convince people that he's going to dunk all the time. So, but it got me on my seat. I almost broke my TV as well.
Oh man, I almost broke mine too. But Harrison, so quick check-in on the Sixers fan base vibe, because I know we were doing this leading up to this series. So is everyone in Philadelphia saying that the Sixers are back on track as a championship contender? Like where are the vibes at right now?
Well, they're no longer calling him Glenn, as we would like everybody to do. He is back to Doc Rivers. I think one of the things that fans are happy about, they're surviving the non-Joel Embiid minutes.
Mm-hmm. Oh, they're winning. So they're living in those minutes. Forget surviving. They're living. Yeah.
For sure. And I think part of the reason he's putting 4 starters out there with Paul Reed a lot of the time. And Doc never did that during the regular season. So I guess you got to give him the benefit of the doubt. You don't really put everything that you can do the postseason in the regular season. I think everybody's excited. I think we're all tired. Well, I'm tired at least of arguing about fouls.
Oh, yeah.
I would love to just talk about basketball in itself. But
I heard you caught a stray, too.
The state of where we are. Oh, did I?
That's what Alex was telling me.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think Raptors fans are just really frustrated. And the thing I was telling Will in the first segment too is you can have issues with individual foul calls on specific plays, but it's just gotten to the point where every time there's a call, against the Raptors when they're guarding Joel Embiid, everybody's just throwing their arms up. And to me, it's just not healthy. And it's Joel Embiid. He is one of the most dominant big men in the league, perhaps the most dominant, and he's gonna get these foul calls. So you can argue 1 or 2 per game, but I don't think we can just be looking at the stats and saying I look at the Raptors in Game 2, they had the 30-12 was the free throw disparity. Do we expect the Raptors to get more free throws? They don't play that way anyways. Were they all crashing the basket and drawing contact? That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and you're guarding
I'm
him.
setting myself up
guarding him with 6'8" guys, man.
I'm setting myself up to move to Philadelphia to chill with Harrison is what I'm doing.
All right.
No, I'm in LA, but I'm not.
He's like, nah, I'm not even in Philly. Hey, Philly's nice, man. Philly's nice. Underrated city, Philadelphia. Listen, I'm happy you brought out that point about what Rivers is doing, because I think his coaching so far has been pretty good. I think he's made the right moves. As you talked to us when we were sort of heading into the series, it was one of the big conversations, Matisse Thybulle's not going to be able to play in Toronto. Obviously, he's not here, right, for Games 3 and 4. And Game 6, by the way, it's going to come up. But as you mentioned, it's that just puts another shooter on the floor. That means there's less of an ability for someone to just help off and just an extra body on Joel. And if you just look at the lineup, he's actually done a good job of putting shooters on the floor, and then also when you got a guy like Niang, who the Raptors are hunting every single time, like the Raptors don't even have a playbook. The playbook is Nick Nurse draws a sketch of Georges Niang and says, attack him, get him, like a suspect sketch. But then what did Doc do? He was like, all right, I'm only going to play him 9 minutes then, in game 2. And that kind of cut out the Raptors offense. Like, I got to say, there's might be a reason why Doc Rivers has moved into the top 10 in all-time playoff wins.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid.
Yeah, he has.
To the other side of the point, though, Game 2, the Raptors really didn't have the people that they needed in the game to be as effective as maybe Nick Nurse wanted them to be. I thought Game 1, the Raptors started the game a bit soft. Game 2, they started it with the intensity that they needed, but they didn't have the bodies. Gary Trent has not been himself, and obviously Scotty Barnes did not play. So I'm very interested to see how the Sixers respond to the adjustments that Nick Nurse will make for Game 3, and if Gary Trent or Scotty Barnes or can be in the lineup, and that will allow for a real evaluation of how Doc is doing. Because right now it's very easy for the Sixers to play basketball. You give it to Joel Embiid, he gets doubled, there's 4 shooters around. It's a very simple formula. I don't think the Raptors have been able to give Doc Rivers the full dose of what they want to do on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, that's been surprising. So you were chalking that more up to personnel and just the availability of players. Because I was going to ask you about that too. Is like a lot of talk before the series. I think Thad Young, 15-year veteran, was like, I got here to Toronto and was like, damn, this is the best scouting report I've ever seen. And then Fred was asked about Nick and if he has a plan B, and he's like, come on, man, it's Nicky Nurse baby, right? And it was like, all right, this is going to be a nice advantage for the Raptors. But innovation-wise, like, we haven't seen that much, like, when we, of course, the series is long. We're going to probably see it tonight and beyond. But, have you seen, that kind of Nick Nurse performance where he's pulling out all these kind of tricky defenses and the lineups and everything like that and is catching teams off guard? Because to me, I haven't seen it yet.
Well, I haven't really seen too much. We did see that box in 1. I think it was kind of coverage on James Harden there for those minutes where Joel Embiid wasn't on the floor. But in general, I haven't really seen that. I think we'll see a lot more tonight, especially if Gary Trent can play. Maybe if Scotty Barnes can play. I heard he was around with no boot today. I don't think he'll play, but you never know. The biggest adjustment, though, they have to stop treating James Harden like he's in Houston. Like there's no need to cheat off of guys like Tyrese Maxey and Tobias Harris and give them catch-and-shoot jumpers at the rate that they're shooting it. I think they're, 30 of 52?
Yep.
From 3 so far in the 2 games, and that's just not sustainable. Those guys can actually really shoot.
Yeah.
So you got to let James Harden try and beat OG off the dribble, whoever's guarding him. That has to be the formula. You obviously have to double Joel Embiid, but how they're covering Harden and kind of cheating to help guard him is not, I don't think it's sustainable.
Yeah, it doesn't fully make sense to me. And I think that's probably the one thing is like, we know what Nick Nurse's strategy is, right? We know that he's going to take the ball out of the star player's hands. To some degree, he did that to Joel. Joel only had 19 in the first game. He had, a lot of free throws, and Joel played better in game 2. There's no doubt about that. But, like, you kind of, like, live with that. He's like a force of nature. He's going to get his 30. There's nothing you really can do about it. But with James, like, something we've been saying from, like, the first game is, like, you got to stop leaving these guys open because as much as you want to, like, Tobias is a little underwhelming for a guy on a max contract or Tyrese Maxey is still young. It's like these guys can play. They have 107 points on 57 shots through 2 games. So if you're letting the other team guys beat you like that, like I want to see James Harden score 107 points on 57 shots. If you can do that, then yeah, the series is just straight up over, right? But you haven't even made him prove him that yet. So want to see that adjustment. I think on the Raptors side, like listen, you've seen Pascal up close. You were here for the most improved season. You had him on your podcast way back in the day. That's when you explained the Spicy P nickname. But like, have you seen the best of Pascal Siakam yet in this series? And if not, then how can he get to that point?
No, we haven't, and I think that's part of the reason why George Niang hasn't been on the floor a lot, because I think Doc Rivers know how good Pascal could be in that matchup. And honestly, I don't know if we could see the best Pascal Siakam because Joel Embiid is going to guard him. And Joel Embiid, especially in the playoffs, is a very good defender. I think when you guys not to future forecast too much, but Pascal getting that three-point shot and shooting it with confidence is going to be the next level for him. That way, they could go. It's going to be a lot harder to guard him because Joel Embiid keeping a foot in the paint as Pascal approaches the rim is just not. I just don't see how he can get there in this series if Joel Embiid is going to be the person guarding him. And I don't know if there's enough offensive people on the court, offensive talent on the court, to get Joel Embiid to guard somebody else.
Yeah, I mean, I think that also speaks a little bit in terms of like the construct of the roster, right? Because I think, you know, like that 2019 season, for example, you had a guy like Marc Gasol who like can stretch out the paint as a five, and even though we know Mark wasn't going to shoot the ball that much, like you could probably beg Mark and he'll shoot 5 times in a game. You know, like that guy was just unselfish, almost to a fault sometimes, but like he can do it. He can stretch the floor out as a five. Like the Raptors don't have that like floor stretching five, at least. Right now, they haven't shown it. Now, we've seen in games, especially in the regular season, where, you know, Chris Boucher has a bunch of threes against the Sixers, or, like, Precious Achiuwa has a bunch of threes in the Sixers. But, like, I guess until the Sixers really treat those guys like we really want to run them off the line and we have to keep Embiid honest, like, that's going to be the defense. And for the Raptors, I was thinking about this, Harrison, and you tell me if this is, like, too wild of an idea. But, like, I want the Raptors as much as possible to try to intentionally get into a one-on-one matchup with Pascal on Joel Embiid. And the reason I want this is not because I think, you know, Pascal is going to torch Joel or something like that. I think, you know, it's going to be very difficult. That's their best defender, as you mentioned. But if you can at least engage Joel defensively on one end, you can put a little bit of foul trouble on him. But more importantly, you can pull him out the paint a little bit so the Raptors can actually get some damn offensive rebounds. Because as of right now, not only is Joel cheating off whichever five is out there, whether that's Precious, whether that's Kem Birch, and he's also shading over and helping against Pascal in the lane, but also when the shot goes up, he's just getting the rebound. And then you guys are getting off and running. And to be frank, I mean, I didn't know the Sixers would run like this, but they're really, really getting it going in transition. So, you know, one way to kind of limit that is if you pull their best defensive rebounder out of their paint. And, you know, Harrison, is that too wild of a strategy?
Not too wild of a strategy. I just don't think Joel will go out to those lengths of the court. If he notices that Pascal is going to stay by the three-point line and try and penetrate from there, I think he'll just let Pascal shoot and live with the results. I think the Sixers feel so confident in their top-end talent and their shooting ability of guys like Tobias, Tyrese, and Danny that they'll live with those kind of results. They feel that they can score, especially with Joel and the four shooters. So I think it'd be nice to wear out Joel if you're on the Raptors side of the ball, but I just don't think they will let Joel get tired in that sense. If he stays in the perimeter, then Tobias will guard him, and then as soon as he comes into the paint, Joel will be there kind of waiting for him. It's a tough situation. I think the series really relies on two people, Fred VanVleet and Gary Trent Jr. That's where their advantages are going to be, and if they can't take advantage of it, then it's going to be tough sledding.
Yeah, this is tough, man. This is tough. On the Sixers side, so obviously Tyrese Maxey has been sensational. He's been like the breakout player for the Sixers all year. I mean, if he's just this good, and there's no reason to believe he's not like this good. It's not like just like a hot shooting stretch necessarily. He's just playing really good basketball around two stars who do draw a ton of attention. If he's just this good, does it kind of change the outlook for what Philly can expect this season? Let's say if we just assume that they continue and they advance past the Raptors in whatever number of games. Like, if Maxey's this good as a number 3, like, does Philly have to change their outlook on the season and what they could potentially do?
Yeah, I think let's put it like this. I think they have a chance to get to the finals as long as they don't play against Boston or Brooklyn. I like their chances against Milwaukee. I really like their chances against Miami if they end up playing in the second round. I'm not surprised by anything Maxey does as an offensive talent because he works that hard, and I think it does raise that ceiling because James Harden doesn't need to be a guy who scores 30 points and gets 10 assists. He could easily just get 20 points and 10 assists, and they'd be perfectly fine with how they're structured. He's almost like a bigger, slightly younger Chris Paul for this team. But for me, at the end of the day, it's really going to come down to how well can he play defensively. Because you guys see it. The moment the Sixers are going to have to play Matisse Thybulle or feel compelled to play Matisse Thybulle. The offense can't be where it's at. I think the first half of the game 1 and game 2, the offensive rating was 149, 150, and I think they can sustain that as long as they can play Joel with 4 shooters. The second they have to start putting in non-shooters like a Matisse Thybulle, they cannot be elite offensively, and they just don't have enough personnel to be elite defensively either. So that's their one advantage. If Maxey can stay competitive defensively, if James Harden can be competitive defensively, if Danny can keep his leg, I thought he's been pretty decent defensively too the first 2 games, then I think they have a great chance of winning the whole thing as long as they don't play Boston, Brooklyn, or Golden State. Those are the 3 teams I don't think they match up with at all.
Yeah, let's not get ahead of ourselves, okay, Harrison? I'll see you at Cactus Club next Thursday.
Me. I didn't bring it up. It wasn't me.
Cactus Club, let me know what the reservation is next Thursday after Game 6, okay?
Leave Harrison alone, man. Leave Harrison alone.
Show to Harrison, man. He talked about this last time, and we know like he's a very social person.
It's all good with me.
He loves the social scene.
Now, listen, Toronto is elite. This is why I was disappointed that the Sixers didn't get a full off day here in Toronto. I was so disappointed, man.
We were so desperate. We just need James Harden to spend 48 hours.
I needed James Harden to enjoy himself fully on a Tuesday in Toronto, man.
Well, guess what? If the Raptors get the win tonight, there's 2 off days until Saturday.
Okay. That's the home court advantage I'm looking for.
Yes. Before we let you go, though, Harrison, so Will was a little bit frustrated during game 2, and, he sent out a tweet asking for new hobbies because, like, basketball is basically his entire life. And people sent in, like, recommendations, like you should try golfing, skateboarding, and even, like, knitting, painting. So, like, with every guest that comes on this week.
Who do people think I am?
I want to, they think you're a human basketball. With everyone that's calling in and joining us this week, want to get them to recommend Will a new hobby outside of basketball. So Harrison, what is your recommendation for Will Lou?
Ooh. Let's see. Do you like biking? I love
biking. Yeah. No, that's a great suggestion. I biked to work today.
Hop on a bike and tour the city. I love doing that. It's one of my favorite things.
Yeah. Toronto is a very bikeable city. There's a lot of bike lanes. Probably need more of them.
Are you joking or are you serious?
No, I'm serious, man. No, you can bike along the lake. It's really good. No, seriously. When you come through for Game 6, we're going to go biking along Lakeshore, all right? It'll be great.
Let's do it. I'm with it.
Okay, so we'll see Harrison Sanford in person next week.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, please.
And we'll
man.
bike to Scotiabank Arena.
Let's do it.
Let's do it,
please. All right, Harrison.
Appreciate you.
Enjoy LA. I'm sure I'll be reaching out again soon once this series gets extended after tonight.
There we go.
You can tell how confident Alex is saying this too, man.
Please don't clip this for Glenn. Okay. We'll talk to you soon, Harrison. Appreciate you always.
See you guys.
Harrison Sanford, Inside the Green Room. Everybody unsubscribe and then resubscribe.
Don't be a hater, man. Come on.
I love Harrison, man. It's always good vibes with Harrison.
Yeah.
Harrison's like, are there actually bike lanes? I mean, yeah. Bloor has bike lanes.
Yeah. Go ahead, keep naming them.
I bike like past like the U of T campus downtown a lot. There's a lot of bike lanes there.
Yeah, University.
Yeah, right. University. Oh, is that why it's? Oh, anyways.
Oh my god.
Is that why it's called? Yeah. So what else? What else about the tourism of Toronto do you want James Harden and company to check out, man?
Well, I didn't want to say it out loud really, but you and I were walking along Yonge. There's some establishments on Yonge.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
There's lots of places to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just enjoy the city. Listen, the weather's nice. I mean, by nice, I mean it's sunny. Like, it's not warm, but it's.
But by nice, I mean it's not snowing today. Yeah.
Shooting too.
Yeah, we're gonna be hearing, hopefully hearing a lot of that tonight. Because yeah, I don't know, man. No, we can't be getting to the point where we're like, oh, we need James Harden to enjoy the nightlife to win.
Can you imagine if Herbie worked in Philadelphia and had to say shooting two like 86 times a game? Like, for real, that place would be a library.
Ben Simmons is like, please stop.
He's like, make noise.
Just let me shoot. This is why I don't want to go to the free throw line.
Nah, Ben Simmons is like, when I'm at the free throw line, tell the crowd to turn around. Don't look at me.
Oh, man.
I miss Ben Simmons on the Sixers, man.
Yeah, me too.
Me like too. When he would score
miss
like
Kawhi
5
Leonard
points.
on the Toronto Raptors.
Okay.
Saw a lot of people tweet out the video yesterday.
You don't have to talk about him every day.
Of Kawhi being asked, where are you going after game 2? Where do you go from here after losing to Milwaukee? And obviously, he said, I'm going back to Toronto for game 3. My favorite part about the video is once he dropped that joke, he knew how funny it was because he like gave off a little
He's like-
smirk. He's like, what
No,
was
it's
that?
a Kawhi laugh. He was like,
It's like Gary while he's sick, man.
no, man, come on.
Oh man. But yeah, so what are we doing? What are we doing in the second hour, man? We got Amy Audibert
We got Amy Audibert
coming in.
and the reason why is because Amy all season has provided us with a positive outlook.
She's
and I
and
think
she's also been
fans need to hear it
yes,
too.
fans need to hear it, and she's honestly, I'll tell her this when she's here too. But like, she's been so generous with her time.
Yeah, of
like
course.
like to even come in. I know she was really busy at shoot around today, and
Yep.
she's probably in studio like right now, like here in the building, probably shooting some pregame stuff.
Mhm.
Because I
Yeah.
don't know if you know this, Will, but the game is on Sportsnet tonight.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah,
Look at you.
so make sure you catch that.
Get that check.
Yeah.
No, but seriously though, it'll be great to talk to Amy, and then we're gonna have a guide to being a fan. 'Cause
Okay,
we keep
this is-
talking because this has been it's becoming an emerging topic. You're
Okay.
even hearing coaches and broadcasters talk about it now. Like
Okay.
apparently, we need to give out a guide to being a fan. So I will
Okay.
help you with some of these points.
So you'll take the lead on that one because this is your vision. This is
I
Will's.
feel like I'm over promising, man. Maybe maybe it's like 5 rules to being a Raptor fan or
Yeah,
something.
this
Like in the
is-
building. I mean,
This is your vision 6'9". And then I'm really excited. We finally have an excuse to talk about my favorite restaurant, Scotiabank Arena.
oh my god.
Because friend of the program, Evie Kwan of the Toronto Star, asked the two of us and many other people, which we will go through, for our favorite picks of food. Our favorite food
You know what?
at Scotiabank Arena. Shouts to Leila's.
Leela's.
Leila's.
Yeah.
Leila's, I think, won in terms of the majority
I
vote.
was real surprised when I scrolled through it. Not that Leela's one, but that like
I have an issue because, well, we'll get to it, but like I read, because we each had to write a description of
Yeah.
our favorite food, and I believe you said burgers and hot dogs at the arena are cliche.
they are. They're
Uh,
the most cliche food to find at a sporting event, man.
All right, we'll talk about it.
All right.
I took offense
No,
to
if hot dogs are so good, why don't they have hot dog restaurants, man?
that. What about the Korean hot dog
That's
restaurants?
different, bro. That's
How's it different?
It's Korean.
What?
That's what makes it
What's
different.
going on?
It's a specialty hot dog, man.
No, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Famous
Franks.
Yo, okay, listen. Let's say you take your date out for a date, and you're like, "Hey, babes, we're going to Famous Frank's." Like, no, man, it's over for you right at that point. Okay.
Will Lou dating
No, hot dogs
advice
are served in carts
coming after the Raptors
and at the
season
sporting
is over.
arenas. That's why it's cliche. Anyway, we're gonna talk about that afterwards because I know that's what fans are dying to hear after the Raptors go down 0-2. So I'm your host, Wolu. That's Alex Wong. You're listening to the Raptors Show, powered by DoorDash on Sportsnet 590, The Fan. Raptors Show, powered by DoorDash on Sportsnet 590 The Fan. I'm your host, Will Lou. A reminder, we're streaming live on Sportsnet's YouTube channel and airing live on Sportsnet 360 Monday to Friday between 1 and 3 p.m. Joined in the second hour by the global ambassador of the Raptors Show, Sportsnet's Amy Audibert. Big game coming up tonight. You'll be there. How you doing?
Yeah, but so much pressure in global ambassador. So
Oh, come on.
It's okay. How many global ambassadors have we had? We started with Faisal.
yeah,
No, it's just one.
Gave it
Just
to
Amy.
Danielle.
Just
I think
Amy.
it should be like a Hall of Fame kind of thing where you always just adding. You don't need to kick anybody out. This is not an all NBA first team. This is
People
Hall of
did.
Fame.
Someone suggested the idea of having like correspondence. So like you would be the Niagara Falls correspondent.
which I've heard your show. It's great. Okay, I love Niagara Falls, so I'd be proud.
Yeah.
I'd be proud.
We still have to get Amy. Like, remember we talked about last time getting her like some kind of immunity idol?
That's right, yeah.
We got to go to that booth in Chinatown. Do you wear jade?
Is that a joke? You know that's my favorite.
I know
You
you
always
like
joke
jade.
about me wearing green. It's my favorite
Oh,
color.
okay, all right.
So we're gonna get her some jade.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. So bring some cash next time we go to Chinatown. It's on you. Yeah.
Okay, it's on me.
Not
Great.
some lots.
I'll bill it to the office.
Lots.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
sounds good.
We'll take care of it. But Amy's here, and I think what we want to do is feel positive, right? Is that right?
We need a positivity
We need
report.
positivity
All
report.
season, you have given us a fresh perspective on the Raptors. Told us it's going to be okay. This team's good. They're young. Give them some time. Trust them. And you have been right. Like, they have had a really nice season, 48 wins, made the playoffs, 5th seed. Everything's great. Right now, I think fans need to hear that again because, I mean,
You write a
I
script for
mean,
it?
I don't know. You've seen it on the timeline. Like, if people are down bad. I would even say I'm also down bad a little bit. However, it's only 2 games, and for the Raptors, you have a chance here to even up the series at home. It's a fairly standard situation, and I want to hear your thoughts as to the Raptors' chances of coming back in the series.
Well, people are down bad largely, not all, but largely because of health, right? I mean, it's
Yes.
the most important thing, not just in life, but in athletics and sport. Your health is the most important thing. And being 2 starters down in the playoff, I don't care what your seed is, it's tough. It's tough to win basketball games. So the positivity is at shoot-around this morning, Gary was there. He looked better. They said he's going to start, and
Okay.
it'll be the same situation where he's still not 100%, but they'll let him go and see what he looks like. You're hoping that it's 2 or 3 days later, so he's had a little bit more time to help himself. So that's a check off the health. Scotty was walking around. This is not secret. This was already all over Twitter without his boot on, and that's a step in the right direction. The reality is, this is a huge game. This is it. This is the swing game, right? I mean, the entire series changes after tonight.
Yes.
I mean, that's the reality of the situation.
right.
I'm
It's
positive,
gut
but I
check
also
time. It's
try to
gut check
be
time.
positive. But we all know that Toronto, the Raptors haven't played to their full identity, and that's they're not disagreeing with that either. And keeping the glass half full with the positivity, we know that this coaching staff's brilliant. We know that these guys are not happy being down 0-2. We also know that they've been here before.
Yeah, that's true.
They've been down 0-2 a couple times.
The last 2 times they went to the playoffs, they were down 0-2. at some points.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And OG hit the Celtics, and well, we know about the shot. And I'm really excited. I was in Philadelphia. Home court advantage is a thing.
Oh, Philly! It's trust me. For people who have not gone to Philly for a game, especially when the Sixers are up and they're rolling, because they have a real momentum to that crowd. Because they'll boo you too. Like, they'll boo the Sixers, no problem. But like, when they're up and they're winning and their guys are rolling, their favorite player is like, Joel Embiid going to the free throw line or Tyrese Maxey going crazy, and it's like that arena is genuinely like a little bit scary to be in. Like, I was there for games 3 and 4 for 2019, and the story I've told on this show before that they station the media, at least for people who aren't on TV, right? Because I know you got courtside tickets. It's all good. For me,
Tickets, seats. I was working.
yeah, that's right, seats. For me, I got it was literally 600 level, but like add 2 more levels. Like, it was like obstructed view. You're looking at the corner, so you can't even see things clearly. And it was like an old wooden desk. Like, the arena itself, Wells Fargo, is a little bit old, right? So, Game 4, you remember when Kawhi was hitting those shots and the Raptors were, and there was a must-win scenario that time too. I'm not even kidding. I left like fingernail marks in that table. I was so stressed out.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, that building is a little scary. I agree with you. Home court advantage. Hopefully the Raptors building is just as scary.
I know it will be.
Yeah.
We all know it will be.
Yeah.
They have not had a playoff game since 2019 at home.
Yeah. Game 5.
And you always get behind this team, right? We're all going to get behind Fred, right? We're
Yeah,
all
of
going to
course.
get, of course, and Pascal and OG. And I understand. And yes, like the reality is the 2 starters out. It's tough. But don't forget about those other guys.
Yeah.
Right. So, and the other thing I would say is Philadelphia has not looked uncomfortable once, maybe late in the 4th, but they actually still had control of that game. They haven't looked uncomfortable. They've looked like they're having a whole lot of fun, and that's not the playoffs, right? I don't think the playoffs are supposed to be too fun consistently.
No,
I
you
think they're
should.
supposed to be tough.
Yeah,
and
shouldn't be like game 1. Like remember, end of game 1, like fans were cheering for Tyrese Maxey to get his 40 points.
yeah, that's
Right.
not a memory that
And-
you'd want.
Yeah,
But I think that the Raptors take that stuff personally, right? I mean, it's
They
so-
should.
Yeah. So
they should.
I expect to, and I said this on air, because I was working in Philadelphia.
I love how Will's
We're
like
Sportsnet.
Amy Otterberg had courtside tickets.
Yeah,
Nah,
someone just gave
that
me
she
some
bought
tickets.
off a scalper.
I was like, Nav, what up, Nav? Nav had better tickets than me.
When does Nav not have better tickets than
Guys, I
literally
have a
anyone?
video. I'm just saying, I took a video. I did not post it yet, but I should have. Right at the beginning of game 2, there was a couple guys sitting behind Nav that were, giving it to him, and every time the Raptors did something, he just stood up and stared at them, like
Ooh.
mean mugged them.
I like
So
that.
he
And it was
sat
like-
down after the first quarter.
I don't
come
care.
on, man.
It's
Alex.
just, you watch him
It's
and
the
you're like,
positivity report.
yeah, when you watch him, you're like, get you a fan like Nav. Like it's it's the whole arena against Nav at that point. He's just the best. But so during my job there,
It's not a job to me. This is all just one extended fan experience.
Don't lose your job over one segment. Come on, man.
I said that for game 2, the one thing that I was very confident in, again, all the injuries are pouring down, and the one thing I was so confident is you knew that Toronto was going to come out tougher because that's who they are. That's their DNA. And the film doesn't lie about the physicality in game 1, right? They just got out hit. And so they came in, and sure, they took a lot. I wish I could give them 6 fouls. I always say, I wish I could give them 6 fouls of mine, But they came out and they did it.
Yeah.
And I mean, long term didn't work, didn't mean a win. But in that point, they did, I think, probably what was on maybe their top priority, which is we have to come out and punch first or hit first, and they did.
Yeah. And the hope is that when you have more depth available, you can sustain that. Because you can see that. Like, Fred played 24 minutes out of a possible 24 minutes in the first half, did a lot of defending, did a lot of creating, did a lot of shooting, did a lot of everything. And you could tell he got tired. There was that stretch there where he had like 2 wide open threes. The rebound kept coming back to the Raptors, and he just kept missing them. And it was like, okay, his legs are saying yabba dabba do at that point. So to that point, you were down at Raptor shoot around. Give us the full report. Give me the warm-up report on Gary Trent, on Scotty Barnes without the boot. Was he running and jumping? Was he hugging people?
We weren't in the gym. I'm not going to lie. We were waiting in the media room or in the back hall.
So
So we saw him walking in and out.
That's
You were so
I was
looking
really
forward
hoping
to
you were
this.
saying that, like, because eventually they let us in, and like you can stand on the baseline there, and then you can see them running and doing drills.
You're
and
going
stuff
to
like
find out pretty soon.
that. That is true. I will be there very early for tonight's game, Alex. I know you will be there too. 5 o'clock.
5 for an 8 p.m. tip. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm going to get
easily.
there early. Can I
Yeah,
just
I'll
tell
be
you
there at
something?
5.
I have never seen Jurassic Park.
Oh, that's
So
right.
So you're gonna kind of check that out a little bit?
I asked. I was like, "Is there any way I could just like pop my head out?" I can't wait.
No,
Yeah.
it's gonna be great. And I think the funny thing with Jurassic Park is actually my lasting memory of Jurassic Park in terms of positive memories was after Game 6. Remember the Raptors advancing to the NBA Finals against Milwaukee 2019. The team, after they did some media availabilities, were like, all right, we want to go see it. The team themselves wanted to like
Yes, I
run out
remember
there
this.
and bring the Eastern Conference trophy out to Jurassic Park. But at that point, it's like usually when you finish posts and the players get dressed and all that stuff, it's like at least half an hour at minimum. It's probably like an hour. So they like run out there at that point and like nobody's there. And they're like,
oh,
what?
man.
But anyway,
Well, I mean, the film doesn't lie.
no, it
It looks
doesn't lie.
pretty hyped up. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited. And yeah, you get all the guys. And I actually even asked Tyrese Maxey this morning too, just what do you know about the playoffs? Like what do you, about here? And he's just, he said, I remember watching it on TV, and he watched the Kawhi shot and everything.
Yeah, he was a high schooler then,
18
right?
years old.
Yeah.
Cool moment. He did say, he was like, I remember Joel crying, and I know he cares so much because he was crying, and it's cool that I'm playing with him now. But we're not going to talk about that too
now
much.
he's making us cry.
But
Yo,
how?
No more
he should
Tyrese
have stayed
Maxey
at university,
Yeah.
man.
But
Tyrese,
what
get
a-
your degree.
Yeah. What a cool moment, though.
That is
And
a
I
really
mean,
cool
I
moment,
talked to
yeah.
Malachi too. I think that matchup was so intriguing to me. I wanted to make sure that I had something ready to go today because I thought Malachi was actually pretty good on Tyrese Maxey and keeps Fred off that matchup too. Doesn't have to do it for 24 minutes. That helps a lot because that's a guy that he scores from everywhere. His finishing package is unreal.
Yeah, it's a breakout for him so far.
I think he's been pretty good all season though. He just doesn't get the shine. Like he's been pretty good. But anyways, yeah, so Malachi, same thing. Malachi is going to be his first playoff experience and first time here and might get his name called, like probably will get his name called. And so I think there's some of that going into this game 3 too. There's a lot of guys that this is their first Toronto playoff experience. So I know that everyone's going to be ready to go.
Yeah. Well, I mean, since you brought it up, the defense against Tyrese Maxey has been a constant topic on this show. How do we do it? Because he has more points than James Harden or Joel Embiid.
Yeah, well, it's partly because those guys, that's the attention,
Sure,
right?
but
this
I
is
mean-
why, I said this, I've been saying this multiple times. I picked Toronto in 6,
Okay.
before this
Still
series
possible.
started. Yeah, it still isn't that, and I would stick by making that pick going into the series. Philadelphia is a really good basketball team. Like, let's not forget
Yeah,
that. And I mean,
exactly.
Tobias Harris, when you look at that starting 5, they're really good. And like I said, they've been comfortable and having fun. They haven't been on their heels too much in those first 2 games. Tyrese Maxey, man, the thing is this: his first step is so explosive and so quick. So
man.
if you go slow on him, and that's what I think those first 2 early. I know we gotta stop talking about this. I know those first 2 early
It's all good.
fouls on Fred I didn't like them. I thought they were like just terrible calls. But it's because he's got such a quick first step that if you get too close to him, boom, there's a little contact, freedom of movement, all that stuff. So, and I mean, he's got the mid-range, he's got the floater, he can finish around the rim.
Yeah.
So you do your best to keep him out of the paint, right? Stay in front of him. And I think the help side defense, because that's one thing the Raptors have been so good at using their length all season. Their length is, you hear opponents all the time saying things I can't say on air. And, because it's annoying. Danny Green, that's the word he used, he said it 2 weeks ago when I spoke to him. He said, it's annoying to play against them because of the way they play with their length. Got to get back to that. Got to get a little bit more back to that. But I think I believe we will. I believe we're going to be back in Philly for Game 5.
Good. At least for Game 5, if not for Game 7. What I was going to say is part of the other reason we wanted to bring you on is to give it a little bit of perspective because, as we have mentioned repeatedly on this show, you were also dominant in the low post, just like a Joel Embiid.
I don't know about that, but I used all my fouls all the time. I definitely did hit people like cheaply, and there was didn't always get called for it either. So when it was happening, I wasn't like,
I like that. No,
Sportsnet needs to make an Amy Audibert basketball
Mixtape,
card.
yeah. No,
Basketball
stop
card
it.
and
No,
a
I don't
mixtape.
want
okay, both.
Basketball card and a mixtape. Yeah.
How about we make the basketball card, but it's like the Raptors Global Ambassador thing?
Yeah,
like
I'm
we
down.
can hand it to people too.
No, I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
but
okay.
like we were saying, you were dominant in the paint like a Joel. And for the Raptors, right? I think for a lot of Raptor fans, they're watching this and they're like, we're sending Joel Embiid to the free throw line all the time. The free throw disparity is huge. And quite frankly, a lot of those calls are like a little bit softer. A lot of them are harder, let's be real too, but a lot of them are very soft. And for like, I think for people who don't have the perspective of playing at that level or even anything close to that level, playing very competitive basketball against someone much bigger than them, like, can you just explain how hard it is and why some of these fouls are taking place? Like,
So-
why are the Raptors why is Embiid always at the free throw line? Beyond the fact that the officials just are, have some sort of bias or whatever. Because that's kind of lazy analysis, quite frankly.
Yeah.
Very, yeah.
Nick made a joke about, well, what's the easiest defense against him? It's, well, don't let him catch the ball.
Okay.
And that's extremely hard and basically impossible, but it would be your number one option. So you have to have elite ball pressure, first of all. So those aren't easy passes. This is where I thought the Raptors, during the regular season, I think he had 130-point game, but did at times struggle against Toronto because of I say early feet. So getting in passing lanes. If he ducks in, he ducked in a couple times in game 2, and you guys know what I mean, that hard step into the paint.
Mhm.
If he ducks in and you try to stop him with your body, he's too big and he's too strong. So unless you beat him to the spot and it's a clear charge, it's too late. It's too late when he catches the ball. He's extremely big. And I just had a conversation with Keith Pompey, one of their bigger writers
Yeah,
for
oh,
Philly.
yeah.
who
Well, we know
who's-
Keith.
Yeah, I think he's great.
Me too.
We were just chatting in the tunnel, and we were kind of. This is the one thing I kind of hot take. I think
Okay.
it sounds like Jokic is going to win MVP,
Yeah.
and I'm wondering if they'll probably give it to him soon because they might not get out of. They might get
Yeah.
swept.
No, this is reminding me of, remember when Dirk got MVP?
Yeah.
But then the We Believe Warriors got him.
Yep. They were like 67 win team, I think.
Yeah, number one seed.
seed.
And then the Warriors upset them with Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes.
I would say different for Jokic just because they don't have championship expectations.
Yeah,
And a lot of
so
injuries.
I'm
Do they
thinking.
have one game expectations though? 'Cause
So
I
I'm
need that.
wondering. I'm wondering if they're going to actually go ahead and do that sooner than later. And then I'm going, well, is Joel the kind of guy that he's going to just go out there and have a ridiculous game because he's pissed that he
Yeah.
didn't? So the reason I got down this trail here is I would have voted for Embiid, and that's probably biased because I'm on the East and I watched him a bit more. But to your point as to why he's basically impossible to stop, he's ridiculously strong. His body is huge. He's mobile for his size.
Yeah.
So if you run up to him, it's one big first step and he has the length. So you have to recover with some kind of length. But if he takes you down low,
You're done.
his body's too big, right? And so that's why I think the strategy against him is, well, play the lanes. Don't let him feel your body. Don't let him feel your body, but be really physical on him. Like,
Interesting.
make that make sense, right?
Yep.
That's hard to do, and it is a feel for the game. You're laughing because I'm like,
I'm like, no, you're blowing my mind right now. You said
oh, no.
don't, like, you gotta give him space, but also make him feel you.
Well,
That's-
because right, like I know a lot of bigs thrive on the body, especially when your back's to the basket.
Sure,
How
yeah.
many reps a day do you do a drop step based on,
Yeah.
or a hook shot based on where the defense is? But then you have to still be somewhat physical with him, and I think that changes play to play based on where you are. But if you get caught behind him, it's too late.
yeah, okay.
And
Do your work
the
early.
reason I would vote for him, his numbers obviously, but let's just give it a little bit of credit. He's worked incredibly hard. This is the first year where no one's really questioned his focus.
Yeah, it's true.
He hasn't been caught watching SpongeBob, I think, or eating. wasn't he watching SpongeBob on the screen one day at film, or I don't know.
No, that's
Was that a meme? I don't know. Or but like even just remember when he was like talking about eating McDonald's or like none of that
Sure,
stuff
yeah,
this
yeah.
year. He really, and I mean, he carried this team before hard, like through a lot this season. That's why I would say that. But anyways, he's just, no one can say he's not having an MVP caliber season.
Yeah, he looks on a mission. He looks focused. He looks like angry. Every time the camera pans him, he's like, he just looks really angry and annoyed at the Raptors, and he just wants to destroy this team. And so far,
Well,
it's
There's also
happening.
some
I hate
history,
it.
right? Like I was gonna try to ask him today just about being here, as he probably would want to talk. He probably would want to talk about that.
You're like,
with
hey,
this-
Joe, do you remember the last time you were here?
Yeah.
Remember this tunnel right here?
I just love the conversation that he had with Nick Nurse too at the end of game 2. Like Will and I were talking about it too. Like, can you imagine another like player versus opposing head coach having that conversation?
Yeah, if you keep fouling me, I'm just gonna keep hitting him. Okay, well,
Yeah. I mean, Nick Nurse got to take this personally tonight too.
What's he gonna do? Run on the court and foul Joel
does
himself?
he get 6?
Scheme, you know what? Scheme harder.
You know, I would say that the other advantage for the Raptors that we haven't consistently seen is part of it is not just hitting him, but you have to make him work on the defensive end
Yeah.
because he's running to the rim. He's got all this energy on offense, and he's actually looks like he's not taking a break, but on defense
No, he's chilling.
at times he's just camping out under the rim. And again, that goes back to going into this series. I said, well, Precious, Chris, and Thad and Kem also are 3-point. They are capable of making that shot. Sometimes it's more important to take it than make it, just to draw him away. And we saw Chris really start to do it. We've seen Precious do it a couple times, but I'm just talking about getting him away from
Yeah.
the rim and making him play some sort of defense.
Making him rotate.
And don't
All
forget, we're game 3 now. He's a big body. I know he's in great shape. He's in the best shape of his career, I'd say. But game 3, so you just got to continue to run and run and get him away from the hoop and make him get in his hands and make him play defense. All those things are important.
Mm-hmm. No, that's totally true. That's totally true.
Just get this win, man.
This is a tough series.
Just get this win, man.
I'm so tired.
I'm so
They're
tired
all
of talking
tough
about
series. There was no easy series. And remember 2 weeks ago how everyone up here is going, oh, we want Philly. And
Everybody wanted Philly.
what do you guys call and let me just say this. Doc
Everybody
Rivers
wanted
is a Hall of Fame coach.
Okay, all right.
Okay,
We
so
know.
it was never going to
Glenn.
be
Still
easy. It was never going to be easy. Toronto is down 2 games. They've had to play basically, even Scotty late game. If you had him, you just don't know what happens there. But it wasn't looking great. But then you're only down 1 game. I don't know if we would have. I would have loved to see the second one with Scotty, right?
Yeah.
I would have just loved to see the series play out with the Raptors
With
at
healthy,
full strength. Yeah.
with full strength
Because
and healthy.
that
Absolutely.
is why I think, you picked them in 6 games. We picked the Raptors in 7 games. And a lot of chatter last week was about this being like the most anticipated first round series if you're looking. And it just hasn't played out that way, right?
Yeah.
It just hasn't. And that's the unfortunate part.
Well, I mean, it's also like, as you mentioned, like the Raptors haven't played up to their potential. Like as a defensive club, right? They haven't really locked in defensively. Like I understand that there are really tough matchups. And listen, if their third and fourth options are hitting you with that much scoring that efficiently, you're probably going to lose. But at the same time, like I know there's another gear for the Raptors defense to get to, even with the personnel available and all that stuff. And hopefully we see it tonight.
Yeah, and I would say this, being at home and making shots gets the crowd pumped up. I just, like to your point, I think the fan base, and I believe this team has bought into having fun playing hard defense. You don't see that. You don't see that in the NBA all the time, right? Teams kind of really getting gritty in their identity on the defensive end. And so I'd hope tonight it's just as loud after big stops, because that's the one thing we've consistently missed in those first 2 games, right? Is just finding those big stops and running, hitting big shots. They're very connected. We can talk about how great the offense has been or how not great the defense have been. I think they're very connected, especially in the way that Toronto wants to play, which is the offense is often predicated on the defensive. So that they go hand in hand.
All right. You feeling better after this?
No, I'm feeling pretty good.
I'm feeling excited.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
It's a lot of wisdom from you as always, Amy.
You wake up, no, I don't have much, but just wake up every day and try to go 1-0. Not just in games,
like
but
that
in
one.
life,
I'm using
right?
that one.
I always say that. The goal you wake up is to go 1-0. That's it.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So there's one goal today.
So there's 1-0 days and 0-1 days, basically.
But when you wake up,
Okay. The
it's
goal.
1-0.
The goal is the same.
We're still at 1-0.
All right, let's do this. But before we let you go, so, Will,
again?
every
Okay.
time during these playoff runs, he gets a little stressed,
I mean, playoff runs,
might-
regular season games,
might have seen it, might
preseason
have heard it.
games,
Yeah.
summer league games. Yeah,
So
I'm a stressful person.
and
I
he's
don't know what
always
to
Summer
asking.
league.
He's
Summer
always.
league?
I've seen it.
No.
He's always looking for new hobbies because like basketball just like consumes him, right? Like basketball is life for him. So,
I get it.
do you have a hobby suggestion for Will? Something that he might be able to try out.
You're talking to the wrong person. It's kind of my thing,
Come on.
too.
So we need to find both.
No,
of
I
your
will say
hobbies?
this. No,
Yes.
you know what? If you follow my Instagram, not really.
No,
much
shout it out.
my-
Shout it
my
out. Hey,
Twitter.
what is it? What is that
follow-
Instagram? What's your Instagram?
Just look up Amy
Or,
Audibert.
yeah, just
look up
keep it
Amy
as my
Audibert.
name.
Okay,
I got.
all right.
Here's
Yeah,
the
I'm
crazy
not on
part,
there,
guys.
sorry.
I got it hacked really bad last year, and everything
Oh.
no.
deleted. But I didn't want to lose my name because I just got it verified. All this stuff. I
Right.
recovered it. A whole nother
Oh, damn.
secret.
Damn.
But if you follow my Instagram, I have a dog.
Yes.
Okay.
He doesn't
Basically-
like dogs.
Okay, but my
I
dog.
have 2 cats. It's fine.
Yes.
I have a cat as well, but the dog you can do things with, like go hiking or go for a car ride. That's what we do. I'm very looking.
Okay.
Your,
That's
your
the
dog
one
is
thing.
very prominently featured on your Instagram.
Yeah,
I
it's
can
like
confirm.
because I
Yeah.
don't have kids.
Is that a big dog? Is it a small dog?
You think I got a small dog?
Yeah, fair enough. It would be a mismatch.
Yeah.
It would look like the
Yeah.
Raptors trying to
I
grab
will
Joel
say
Embiid in the
this:
post.
my dog was supposed to be the runt of the litter, and he's huge. But I always say that like my mom didn't plan for me, so I never complain about it. Right? Sometimes your kids just end up bigger. But and his name's Gus because I purposely, and this is kind of your question, I didn't want him to do anything to do with basketball. Anything. I wanted him separate because it like this is
Okay.
such an obsession in your life and up and down and all this stuff. I was like, I want something that it just has nothing to do with basketball. And
Yeah.
so maybe you should
Okay.
do that.
So if you
too.
get a dog, what are you gonna call it? What would be a dog?
yeah.
name?
That's I don't know.
There's like so
Probably
many players and there's so many e-broadcasters and all this stuff that you think of a name and you're like, I can't do that because of
You know
so
what?
and so.
I had a dog. My family had a dog back when they lived on the farm, and I lived with them for like a whole year between like 1 and 2. I don't remember this, but they tell me that I called this dog Hoo Hoo all the time, which in Chinese means like tiger.
Tiger.
So
okay.
I might call my a dog Hoo Hoo or something like that. Yeah.
You got to get him like service accredited so we can come here and hang out and just like.
Oh
Sure.
man, I'll make them do a segment for sure.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
sitting
You're really trying to make
You
content,
guys should
man.
let me bring Gussie one.
Oh,
day.
that'd be
Okay,
amazing.
No,
yeah.
let's do it.
Gus Tuesdays, you know,
Don't.
do a whole segment.
All right, man.
Uh,
Amy, thank you for joining us. I know you have a busy day.
the game is on Sportsnet tonight.
Yes.
That's right.
Don't forget.
So excited,
Yeah,
guys. I'm like ready. Let's go.
Yeah, you must be personally just pumped, right?
I was gonna say,
Like
you
covering
got
this game tonight
You
at
got a
home.
fire fit plan, anything like that?
That's a rhetorical
that's
question,
so much
man.
Pressure, no.
Okay.
That's a
I feel,
rhetorical
yeah,
question.
that's pressure. Just, I'm so excited about the game.
Mm.
All that
Okay.
other stuff.
It's all about hoops. You're gonna come dressed in a basketball.
I wish I could. I actually have running shoes today. It's just like,
Listen,
come in with your jersey,
We're gonna
honestly.
see Amy Audibird interview Pascal after the game tonight.
And
Well-
the stat line-
It's gonna be good
the graphic's gonna say like 48
And
minutes.
Amy's gonna be like,
48
Pascal,
points,
what
20
you know?
rebounds.
Yeah. What level of spicy were you tonight? You know, we're gonna hear Matt Devlin. Is Matt Devlin gonna say a good night? Maybe not for Game 3.
No, please don't say that.
Good night,
Just
Philadelphia.
say good night, fans.
Yeah.
You've been watching.
see you on Saturday.
Yeah.
2 p.m.
2 p.m.
But guys,
right.
want to know today.
Want to know
Talk
today?
about
That's the
Saturday.
goal. Amy
love
Audibird,
this.
catch her on. You know where to see. You know, on the broadcast.
Catch her everywhere, the official global ambassador of this show.
Yeah.
We always appreciate, honestly, we were saying this before you came in, like you've been so generous with your time for us, like throughout the season, like, you know, weekdays, you know, even weekend shows and coming into the studio that one time when you went skiing for 3 days.
Oh, yeah, I did.
Remember?
That. Well,
Yeah,
listen.
you don't
you're
remember
the
skiing?
Barely. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Whatever.
Okay, yeah.
You go down a hill.
availability.
Cool.
Yeah, but we appreciate it because
Availability is your
you know,
best
Amy Audibird, you know, her stardom is rising. You know,
Of course.
next year's gonna be one of those things where she'll be like, "Yo, I'll try to make it in once during the
She's like,
season."
you're calling me again? You call me every week.
I'm not gonna do that, guys.
No,
Once, it's rookie. It's rookie season, so you show up when people are. Thanks for asking me.
By the way, we're all rookies. Let's be real.
Yeah.
This is the incoming class.
Yeah, I'm a 37 rookie.
Yeah, you're
I'm Andre
you're,
Ingram.
Nah, you're Jorge Garbajosa that year, man. You're Anthony Parker coming over from.
I'm not too far behind you, so we
Maccabi.
don't talk about age.
Oh, fair
okay,
enough. Yeah.
okay.
I'm gonna take a break right here so that we can stop this conversation.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm your host, Wolu. You're listening to the Raptors Show, powered by DoorDash on Sportsnet 590, The Fan. Welcome back to the Raptors Show, powered by DoorDash on Sportsnet 590 The Fan. I'm your host, Will Lou. I continue to be joined by producer and co-host Alex Wong ahead of Game 3 against the Philadelphia 76ers. You can watch it on Sportsnet.
Yes.
Alex, what do we have playing, man?
On Sportsnet. So we've got the segment that you've been talking about, the guide to being a Raptors fan. But let's spend like 10 minutes here talking about this article that came out in the Toronto Star today from friend of the program, Evelyn Kwong is her byline.
Shout out to Asians naming their children Evelyn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Keeping that name alive in the lexicon.
Or Candy.
Sure, yeah.
This is a few. Shouts all the candies out there. The article is titled "Best Food at a Raptors Game: From Roti to Bao's Insiders and Fans Share Their Scotiabank Arena Picks." Me and you are in here.
That's right.
Friend of the program, Liban Osman.
Friend of the program, Evie, messaged me yesterday, right before the show, being like, "Well, do you want to be part of this? And if so, here, answer all these things." And I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." And then the next day, we're in the paper. This is sick.
Yeah. Well, remember, I was in the paper recently in the Toronto Star.
Yeah, for the wrong reason.
Yeah, we can't talk about that. Yeah, we're going to
just use your picture for that one again, or is it not a COVID story?
So lots of people made their picks, and I know throughout the season we have talked about our media food vouchers and our food picks. So perfect excuse to finally dive into this. So what was your pick? Tell people about your pick and why.
It's not a surprise. I've talked about it on the show many times. Lila's is my pick. You can obviously, to be honest, I think they only serve two things. You either get a roti or you can get doubles. Look, it's reasonably priced. Like, it's not that much of a markup than as you would go buy them, in somewhere else in downtown Toronto. You also have to understand that downtown Toronto has just like an inflation rate that's like higher than maybe anywhere north of Bloor or anywhere west of High Park. But yeah, I mean, Lila's is my pick. It's, that. I mean, you probably see me eat like 20 rotis in the course of this season.
No. So here's what Will does too. I think the other thing that we can share with people as insiders is like he's very strategic with the way that he eats his food. Like, you will have the roti, but then you'll leave a snack for yourself in the corner of the radio booth.
So, I mean, look, again, we've talked about the $25 media voucher, whatever, right? Roti's going to run you $16. The doubles are $9, right? Of course, there's tax or whatever, that's fine. But, like, you have the roti, and then after the game, I'm writing 10 things. I'll do the reaction podcast, and afterwards, I'm like, I would love to enjoy an ice-cold roti or ice-cold double.
A little treat for yourself is what you're saying. Yeah. No, I like that. And you said Lila's is the best spot in the building. Burgers and hot dogs is so cliche. You can have them anywhere. You can only find rotis and doubles at a game in Toronto.
That's true, though.
It is. All of it is true. I just need you to leave hot dogs alone.
No, listen, if hot dogs were like so fire, right? Like, why do people go for hot dogs at Costco? Or like, why do people go for hot dogs on the street?
Because they're so like malleable. Like it's you can have a hot dog in any scenario, at a baseball game, at Costco.
No, you can't go.
It's like when you walk into IKEA and you automatically go, "I'm gonna have the meatballs." It's like when you walk into a stadium, the first thing that you should think of is, "I want to have a hot dog." I've never had a bad hot dog in my life. Have you?
No, I haven't. But also, like, listen, you're not gonna go to a wedding and have a hot dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not gonna go to a dinner, a fancy dinner, and people are like, they pull off the silver plate and it's a hot dog.
There's literally gourmet hot dogs at Scotiabank Arena, and this was another pick by Abby Albino, but a lot of people picked the same as you, and
that was the thing.
You were surprised.
I was surprised only in the sense that, like, when I'm on media row all the time, I don't see that. I don't see that reflected in the demographics. But
Blake Murphy picked Lila's.
Yep.
And said that there are a number of great options now beyond standard fryer fare, but it's hard to top roti or doubles from Lila's.
Yeah, I agree. That's Blake knows ball.
But
someone said the thing, Alex's Glizzy gang.
By the way, Bruce Arthur just messaged me and said that he's had hot dogs at both IKEA and at a wedding. So the hot dog agenda is moving very well.
Man, who was getting married, bro? No, expose them. Nah, if I come to your wedding and you're serving hot dogs,
I might gotta get married. I might gotta get married again just to serve hot dogs, just to prove you wrong.
That union is not destined.
Liban Osman of the Toronto Star. Where does he go for food? He says the poutineery.
We all know this.
What is his go-to food? The classic poutine. Quote, as a self-proclaimed poutine connoisseur, The first time I went to the Putune Scotiabank
This
Arena,
guy called himself Poutine Poppy. Shout out BB.
I fell in love. It's the perfect food to have at a sporting event. It's not way too much or little, but just the right serving along with a fountain drink. I don't think I've ever tried anything else at the arena. Okay, that's the least surprising thing I've
I was
heard.
gonna say that's definitely
from-
facts.
from Lee Band.
From my eye test of walking on Media Road, this man has not eaten anything else at that arena other than
You know
Blood
how,
poutine.
you know another cliche people like to use or a saying is like death, taxes, and something else, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
death, taxes, and Joel Embiid shooting 12 free throws in the first round.
Yeah.
Death, taxes, and going to a Raptors home game and seeing Lee Ban with a fountain Coke and a Coke and poutine
yeah,
during
and
the
all
national
yellow
anthem.
fit, all
During
yellow
the
fit.
national anthem.
Yeah.
Like he is enjoying himself. Nobody enjoys himself more.
Mm.
So,
So
shouts to our guy.
what was your pick?
So my pick.
Because you're in this story too.
Yes. So my pick was Alouette, the Alouette wedge salad. So I said shout outs to Leela's and their jerk chicken roti, but after a month-long search for Alouette, still a difficult place to find in the arena, I was finally able to find it with some help from Vivek Jacob. Everyone said try the fried chicken sandwich, which was okay, but the wedge salad is a gem, and I
No,
don't
it's
even
really
like
good.
salads.
First off,
So-
it's really good.
Have you had the wedge salad?
I've had Alouette like outside of the
Oh, right,
arena.
right,
like
right.
you
I
could
keep-
just go to
yeah,
this
yeah,
restaurant in
I
Toronto.
keep forgetting,
You could
you know,
order it on DoorDash.
Toronto, this multicultural,
Unbelievable.
metropolis, that there are restaurants more than just Scotiabank Arena. But
Yeah.
that is my favorite. I'm gonna get a wedge salad tonight.
Okay, no, I mean, listen.
People thought I was joking. Blake was like, "Are you trying to trick me into getting a
No,
salad?"
it's actually really good. It's really good. Like I think, I don't know. I mean, like they got lots of elements in there. That's the thing. It's not like a standard salad. Or it's like a standard garden salad or a standard like chicken Caesar salad. Like it's well made. There's a lot of components to it. It's very good, especially if you can put the sauce and you mix it up, shake it up, or whatever. And it's good, man. I agree.
So what are you getting tonight? Is the question.
You know
For
what
food.
I'm getting.
Okay.
Leela's.
Sticking
As
with
always.
the standard.
Yeah.
Shouts to Vivek
Damn,
Jacob.
someone said this show's gonna be canceled within a year. I mean, I doubt that, bro. It's the number one Raptor show in the whole
I mean,
world, I guess. Yeah, literally. I'm not even
If-
kidding. Like, go look up the charts. I'm sorry if you don't want to hear about hot dogs. I'm sorry. We talked about this stupid game for 2 hours now.
wow, you get really angry on Hump Day. I
No,
try to
I
make
just
the
get
Hump Day
annoyed when
jokes.
people are like, "Oh, just like stick to sports or whatever." It's like, yo, chill, man. Like, come on,
You know who never tells you to stick to sports?
you.
Your producer, baby.
Oh yeah. No, you're like, this is the reason. It's the reason why, man.
Anyways, yeah, I think that's it. And shouts to Vivek Jacob. You know, I thought I was under the impression we were supposed to pick one place as our favorite, and he picked 5.
You did?
This guy picked Leela's, Alouette, Freshie,
Freshie.
Colibri,
Nah.
and
Freshie?
Noodle Bao.
Noodle Bell's fine. Yeah, Noodle Bell's my number 2 pick.
Vivek goes to Freshie a lot though, so I will give him that. So no lies there.
Freshie's fine.
Yeah.
Other places got to be closed for me to go Freshie though.
You know, the one thing I do want to say is we need a bubble tea spot in these places.
I agree.
We need a bubble tea spot at Scotiabank Arena. We need a bubble tea spot at Rogers Center. Like, I think that's the next move.
Yeah, let's do it.
I will open it. Yeah.
How much do you think they'll charge for it though? $26?
Oh my God! Imagine getting a $16. It's like, can I get extra tapioca? Yeah, that'll be $22.50. You know what? I would pay for it. Okay. What do you think? What do you think is worth?
Toppings $8.
What do you think is more value, an $18 beer at a game or an $18 bubble tea, if you had to choose?
No, if you do get the $18 beer though, like it's a lot of beer. Like I'm at that point, I'm gone. I don't know. I'm gone. So
Can't wait to go to a Jays game with you
yes,
soon.
I'm ready.
But yeah, so you have this segment that we've been teasing, and I feel like now there's too much
Yeah,
pressure.
it's way too much pressure.
I'm setting you up to fail, which is also my job. So you wanted to give a guide. So tell me the premise here, and let's get into this. Like a guide to being a Raptors fan at the arena. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm just gonna call it 5 rules to being a Raptor fan in the building, obviously. And for me, this idea came about because we heard on the broadcast, Jack Armstrong was talking about, hey, when we come back to Toronto, one thing I would like to ask for is for all the fans to be really into it and really there on time and everything like that, right? And then you saw it, like, obviously the players have talked about it. I think the Raptors put out like a little post of like a open gym moments, and they were talking about sort of like the anticipation for what the crowd's going to be coming home. The fact that the Raptors very uniquely have not had a playoff game at home since Game 5 of the NBA Finals 2019, which will be remembered as KD dancing with Sean Livingston pregame in the tunnel, for me, at least personally. But, like, it's been over 1,000 days, and there's a reputation, everything like that. And they're talking about it. And even Nick Nurse was like, look, we're hoping for a really good crowd and everything like that. And for me, I think the subtext of that is just like they're basically asking people to step it up a little bit, live up to the reputation. Like, there's a real reason why the reputation is so strong, because the Raptors fan base has been tremendous. The building has been tremendous. However, you and I have been there lots of times, and not just the empty arena report. Sometimes it's not tremendous. Sometimes it doesn't live up to the hype. So especially for games 3 and 4, when it's all hands on deck, everyone needs to be in there for that. And so if people need some help with that, I have 5 tips.
Oh, I want to hear these. Let's go. By the way, the LouTube chat is saying, I want to see Will gone off a $18 beer.
Nah, if they lose game 4, that might have to be the case, man. No.
Okay, let's hear these five rules or 5 tips.
It's just let's say they're tips.
Okay, 5 tips.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go.
Number 1 tip to go into the game as a Raptor fan at Scotiabank Arena: get there on time.
Yes.
Get there on
Great
time.
tip.
I cannot tell you the number of times, because so there's the whole procedure, because we've seen this a million times. Let's say it's a 7:30 start, right? So if 7:30 start, the tip's actually going to be 7:38. We all know that, right? But what they do is they bring the players out at around 7:15, right? They'll say, bring them out, and then they'll cut to the Jumbotron will cut to the tunnel feed, and they'll have the players out there and they're warming up or whatever, and then they run out, and then like they come out and do their warm-ups and stuff like that. That's the first times they're announced, right? After that, there'll be the starting lineup and stuff like that. When that happens, I swear there's like 40% attendance in there, if that.
Yeah, there's been a lot of times where, the players just don't feel that fan support when they run out.
You come out for the first time, you run out 7:15, 15 minutes before tip-off, and it's chill. It's really chill in that arena, right? That's, you know what, to some extent, I'm like, I get it. Traffic's hard. People got jobs to do. Like, they're not just like us and we talk about the Raptors and we go watch the team or whatever. I understand that. However, at least get there for 7:30 if it's a 7:30 tip, so that it's like light up the north and all that stuff. Like, I don't need you to necessarily turn on your phone, but like you can also tell when they put the phones on and stuff like that. It's also a little bit sparse. Everyone get in the building at tip-off right away. Set the tone right away. Because you know what? For me, the fans usually get in midway through the first quarter. Like, I saw even for Kyle Lowry's return, if everyone knew he was going to get the ovation before the game, still wasn't people there in their seats. And that's like the one game you need to be there for.
Yep.
Right? So get there on time. That's the number 1 rule.
So the only person exempt from this is Drake. But if you're a civilian fan, be on time is what you're saying.
Yes, I agree.
Okay.
And even for Drake.
This is just a segment of you yelling at civilians.
Yes, that's what the rules are. Okay, so that's the number 1 tip. I think that's fair.
I think that's completely fair.
Listen, you paid a lot of money for this ticket, or you got, or circumstances allowed you to get this ticket. Get there on time. Get the full value of your ticket. Get there on time. Okay. Number 2, don't be too cool to not put on the T-shirts.
Oh, I love this one.
If they hand out the T-shirts because they want to give this illusion of the crowd of like, yo, we're one team, we're all really united, right? We're about to go into this thing together. It's the playoffs. Put that T-shirt on.
Yeah.
It might not fit well. It probably won't fit well. But trade with somebody next to you or whatever, if you can get the right size or whatever.
Trade
if you
with
can,
me.
Donate to you, you're saying.
Donate to me.
Get in there, put on the T-shirt, because listen, I know you got a fire fit on. I know you came to the game prepared. I know you got a Raptor jersey under there too. That's all cool.
Yeah, it might be bootleg. Yeah, might not be real.
That's fine, man.
Yeah,
I respect it more if it is.
Okay.
But put that free T-shirt on.
Yeah.
Be part of the crowd.
Yeah. Let's when you look out to the crowd, they're on time.
Yeah.
And they're synchronated. They're all wearing their tees.
Yeah.
And there's just a vibe, because you remember the 2019 NBA Finals, like the atmosphere in there for Game 1. And all the rest of the games too, but like the atmosphere for Game 1 was ridiculous. Like, it was a different level of energy.
Yes.
In there.
No, it was like even Canada was hitting different.
Yes, and that's what we need for, it's been 3 years since there's been a game at Scotiabank Arena.
Yeah.
And I think the Raptors have been through a lot. They've been through a lot these past 2 seasons.
They literally were in Tampa last year. So now we got the chance to see them in the playoffs. This is a really good year. They're in the playoffs now. I know they're down, but this is still a really, really special moment. Put on the T-shirt, get there on time. All hands
on deck. All hands on deck.
Yeah.
Put on your tees, be there on time. Okay, what's number 3?
Number 3 is just cheer. Like, for real, cheer. And again, don't think you're too cool to cheer. If your section is quiet, start a cheer. Everyone knows defense Everyone, oh, let's go Raptors. Everyone, just even go for that. We don't have to go elaborate cheers. We don't have to sing "You'll Never Walk Alone." You know what I'm saying? Maybe we should. But like for real, like cheer. Like just be cool about cheering and leading the group. Like I'm serious. Like let's say like there's 20,000 seats roughly in Scotiabank Arena. For every one person who has a seat in Scotiabank Arena, there's 100 people who would want to be in that seat. So you are representing one of 100 people. And you're going to, if you don't even cheer for yourself, cheer for the 100 other people that want to be in that seat.
Man, this is so passionate right now.
No, listen, I've been a fan a long time of the show. I'm still a fan, period. I cheer from media row. But like for real, when you're in those seats, cheer. Please.
Yeah.
Don't be nervous about it. Just if your section is quiet, cheer. Here's the thing. Everyone going to the sporting event wants to come out of it with memories. Wants to come out of there, wow, we were so intense. We were really into the game. You know how you do that? By creating the energy.
Yeah, no,
So
I'm totally with you. But by the way, the YouTube chat's calling me. I made another ESL mistake. I meant synchronized. I said synchronated.
Okay.
I don't think that's even a word.
That's tough.
Yeah.
Bro.
Apologies. We'll add that to the list.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back to ESL this summer.
Let's do it, man. We'll do it together.
How many more? Me and you in ESL.
I'll be your instructor.
Okay. How many more tips? You got 2 more?
2 more. Yeah.
Okay.
Number 4 is cheer even more when things are going bad. The one thing you don't like to feel is a nervous building.
Yes.
I think the opposing players always love to like silence the crowd, quote unquote. They always relish it. They want to be the villain.
Yeah.
Tell them that it's not about them. It's about you as the paying customer. You are going to cheer even more when the team is down to encourage your team.
So no front running mentality as a fan. Like you're in there for the 48 minutes of play. You're going to support your team through like the ebbs and flows of the game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that. I love how all of these is just like get on time and cheer.
Yo, it's simple. Why else did you come to the game? No, for real. Did you just want to get the photo off? Like, for real. Like, I've seen 100 photos of Alex at the arena. They don't even hit. Okay? You know what hits? Going there, cheering your lungs out, seeing a great performance.
Yep.
Okay?
I like it.
But seriously, don't allow crowd silencers or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Stick it back to them. And then the last one, let's be real here. Act like you've had a free slice or a free something before. You know how they'll get, I'm not going to name the specific promos or whatever, but it's like 100 points. If everyone get, you get this little thing. It's like, I know if you pay for your tickets, you probably paid like at least 3 digits for them.
Right.
You could probably afford another $2 for a free thing. So don't cheer the loudest for the free thing. That's all I'm trying to say. Like, act like you've had a free slice of pizza before.
Okay.
That's it. Those are the 5 tips. It's very simple. In fact, actually, 3 of them are about cheering, and one of them is about putting on a T-shirt, and the other one's getting there on time. Fairly basic, but if they can do all that, I think no one will be upset. No one will be on the broadcast being like, "Hey, like, can we get a good crowd in there or whatever?" That shouldn't even be asked. Like, you know how diehard the Raptor fans are.
Feel like you just gave, because I always ask for Masai to do a presser during these times, like leading up to the postseason and the playoffs.
Yeah,
I feel like you just delivered a Masai speech for the fans.
Sure. Like, someone said in the chat, "Will giving off Chinatown Masai vibe."
That's who you are, man. We got to talk about your 2 favorite topics today: the Raptors and being a Raptors fan.
Yeah,
like we were able to combine both. No, I do.
I swear,
I do love the advice.
You don't even have to say these things to Raptor fans. Like, trust me, man. I've been in the building for this will be another segment one day, but like the cheapest Raptor ticket you've ever gotten. I've gotten 2 tickets for $5.
Oh man,
right.
Were the Raptors down 3-0 to the Cavs?
I think they lost to Tyreek Evans. Rookie Tyreek Evans was a problem. I think he had a triple-double or whatever, but I legit got 2 tickets for $5. But like, it was still bumping in there.
Yeah, I had my best times as a fan sitting in the 300s. Like, I remember the fans just being so, just like you mentioned, like they were enthusiastic and they stuck with their team. We need that energy. Right?
Yeah, exactly. That's all I'm saying. It's because it's all hands on deck. You want to see the Raptors go down 3-0? No. So the least you can do is cheer. And by the way, I want to hear the loudest "Ref, you suck" chant tonight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. When Scotiabank Arena starts feeling like it's like a WWF event.
Yes.
Yeah, that's.
I need you to put that pressure on the Sixers. Make it a hostile environment.
Right.
Yes, that's it. That's it.
All right. Are you properly excited for this game? What's going on?
I'm hype. I'm hype.
Okay, I'm tired.
I'm about to lead a cheer from the media row, man.
I'm gonna take a 2-hour nap.
No, Blake's gonna slap me, man. No, that's right. Someone says start the refuge chant before the game. Let's do it. Refuge suck before the game.
I don't know if that's productive. I think that's what Nick Nurse did in his pregame presser in Game 2 when he was.
What do you want him to say today? Oh, Mark Davis. I love your outfit for the game. I love your official uniform and how that fits on you. What do you want me to say, man?
I want Mark Davis to take a fit pick before the game. No, I know too many ref names. This is not good for the sport.
Yeah. No, I agree with you.
It's really not good. Like last night, everybody making a big deal because Scott Foster was reffing a Chris Paul game. Like I should not know the names of these people.
Brother, how is that possible? So he's now 0-14 in games in the playoffs, refereed by Scott Foster, Chris Paul.
Yeah, that's a ridiculous
How
streak.
is that possible?
Yeah. I mean, Devin Booker was hurt last night.
That's fine,
Got
but
injured.
like 14 over multiple years, multiple teams. Anyway.
Well, that's like LeBron James versus the Toronto Raptors, Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
What's wrong with you, man? We're trying to bring the vibes up, man.
By the way, programming note again, we will be on tomorrow, 10 a.m.
That's right.
If you're tuning in live, 10 a.m. to
I'm
noon
about to sleep at the building.
on the YouTube. He's not even kidding. And on Sportsnet 360. And it's going to be real good energy if they win tonight. And if they don't, somehow it'll still be really good energy.
That's right. That does it for us today. I'm your host, Will Lou. That's Alex Wong. You've been listening to The Raptors Show, powered by DoorDash on Sportsnet 590 The Fan. Make sure you find The Raptors Show wherever you listen to podcasts and subscribe. And please rate and review our show. Thanks again to my producer and co-host, Alex Wong. To our guests, Harrison Sanford and Amy Otterbert. To our board producer, Derek Brandale. And Jennifer Rolnick for helping us behind the scenes with the YouTube stream. I will talk to you tomorrow.